2, 3, or 4.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. 3. One, 2, 3, or 4.
2.
1, 2. All right, Onyx, it's your choice.
Start things off.
Me?
Yes.
Very well then. Draw for turn. Interesting. Let's start things off the right way. I activate Pot of Greed. Any response?
No.
Draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Let's summon my faithful servant, Armageddon Knight. Face up defense mode. When Armageddon Knight is summoned, I can send 1 dark monster from my deck to the graveyard. Alright. We shall dump my Orcus Harp Horror to the graveyard. Activate the effect of my Harp Horror. By banishing it from the game, I can special summon an Orcus monster from deck to field.
So the
Harp Horror is banished.
Joy Spring for that.
Got you. No problem. So I will shuffle from Armageddon Knight. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the bottom. That slows me down somewhat. That's okay. Next, we will go ahead. Yeah, why not? I'll activate my next spell card, Time Tearing Morganite. So for the rest of the duel, I cannot activate monster effects from the hand. And during my draw phase, I can draw 2 cards instead of 1. I can also perform 2 normal summons. Yep. So with my second normal summon, I'll go ahead and bring out my Orcus Brass Bombard to the field in defense mode. We'll link Brass Bombard and my Armageddon Knight to bring out my Galatea, Orcus Automaton. Activate her ability. I will target my Harp Horror that is banished, shuffle it back into the deck, and then I can set an Orcus Speller Trap. Alright. Harp Horror comes back to the deck. I will set my field spell, Babble. shuffle this on bar. One, two, three, four, five to the bottom. All right. I'll activate my field spell, Orchestrated Babble. My link is above my zone 2, so that'd be your zone 4. Right. So I'll set one card in my back row, zone 2. This is in zone 3. Your move.
Standby phase. Main phase 1. I activate Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon's effect from my hand. By discarding it, I can then pay 500 of my life points to add a level 8 or lower dragon type pendulum monster from my deck to my hand. What's your response to?
That's fine.
In that case, I will proceed to add this monster. Next, I will normal summon Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. And on its summon, I will activate its effect to add a Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster from my deck to my hand.
Chain. Infinite Impermanence in zone 3. Targeting your monster and negating its effect.
Very well then. Next, I activate my spell card, Instant Fusion. By paying 1,000 of my life points, I can special summon a level 5 or lower fusion type fusion monster from my extra deck, but that monster cannot attack until the end and is destroyed at the end phase. So now I will special summon Lyrilusk Independent Nightingale in defense mode. But I'm not quite finished just yet. Next, I'll use Darkworm and Nightingale to link summon. I will bring out Heavy Melphos Electromite. If this card is link summoned, I can place a pendulum monster on my deck on top of my extra deck. And for this occasion, I will choose to place this card on top of my extra deck, face up. Next, I'll activate Supreme King Dragon Odd Eyes. And I will use Electromite's other effect to destroy one pendulum monster on the field, in order to add a pendulum monster from my extra deck to my hand. So I'll destroy Supreme King Dragon Odd Eyes to add Astrograph Sorcerer from my extra deck to my hand. Astrograph. Now then. Electromite's additional effect for Chain Link 1 and Astrograph Sorcerer's effect for Chain Link 2. Because a card in my field was destroyed, I can special summon Astrograph Sorcerer from my hand. And because I destroyed a pendulum monster in my pendulum zone through Electromite's effect, I get to draw one card.
Interesting.
Next, I will set the pendulum scale with Scale 1 Performer Pal Odd Eyes Seer and Scale 8 Performer Pal Odd Eyes Valet. Next, I'll use Astrograph Sorcerer and my Link 2 Electromite to Link Summon. Now I will go into Exceed the Pendulum. If this card is Link Summon, I get to add one Pendulum monster on my extra deck and add to my hand. And I will bring out I will add back Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. And next I will use Exceed's effect to special summon a Pendulum monster to one of its zones in defense position, so long as its level is between the two Pendulum scales. And I will choose to bring out Supreme King Gate 0 from my hand in defense mode. Next, I will Pendulum Summon Astrograph Sorcerer from the extra deck and Supreme King Dragon Darkworm from my hand. Next, I'll overlay my level 7 Supreme King Gate 0 and Astrograph Sorcerer in order to build the overlay network. With this, I will Exceed Summon into Odd Eye's Absolute Dragon. And now, I'll use Odd Eye's Absolute Dragon and Exceed the Pendulum for another Link Summon, treating Exceed as 3 materials. And I will now bring out Access Code Talker. Now Access Code Talker's effect activates. I can target one of my Link monsters used to Link Summon it, and it gains attack points equal to its Link rating multiplied by its Link rating up to 1,000 each. So in other words, its original attack points from 2,300 now become 5,300 upon its summon. Next, I will use Access Code Talker's effect. No. Before that, Chain Link 2. Since Odd Eye's Absolute Dragon Exceed Summon was sent from the field to the grave, I get to special summon one Odd Eye's monster from my extra deck. And now, before anything else resolves, Odd Eye's Vortex Dragon special summon effect activates. I can target one attack position monster that was special summoned on your field and return it to the hand.
Ooh, back to the extra deck she goes.
Next, I'll activate Access Code Talker's effect. By banishing one Link monster, I can target one card on the field and destroy it. So I'll banish Electromite to destroy your field spell.
Ugh, Babel is destroyed.
I can also use its effect multiple times, but only for one attribute each. This time, I banish Exceed the Pendulum to destroy your face-down spell or trap card.
Intercept Wave.
And now, I'll proceed to enter into the battle phase. Darkworm will attack for 1,800.
I'll activate my Action Magic card. Big Escape. This will end the battle phase.
Very well then. Main Phase 2. I'll activate Perform Power Odd Eye Seer's Pendulum effect. I can target a Perform Power or Odd Eye's card in my graveyard and add it to my hand, and if I do, this card is destroyed. And naturally, I will be adding back Odd Eye's Revolution Dragon from my graveyard, thus destroying Seer. And at this moment, I will activate R's Revolution Dragon's effect once more, discarding it and paying 500 of my life points to add a level 8 or lower Dragon-type Pendulum monster to my deck. And I will choose to add this one. Cut in half or leave as it is.
Half, 5 to the bottom.
Now then. Next, I'll activate R's Persona Dragon to reset the pendulum scale. I will end my turn with this.
I draw. Thanks to Time Tearing Morganite, I draw 2 cards. 1, 2. And on the standby phase, an action magic card comes to my hand. 1, 2, or 3.
2.
Do you have Omni Negates on the field?
Only 1.
And which one is that?
Let's say
Is that the monster? Is that the monster on your field?
Yes.
I'll activate Dark Ruler no more, negating all monsters on your side of the field. Activate Harpy's Feather Duster. Activate Lightning Storm. Since I control no face-up cards, I will choose to destroy all your attack position monsters on the field. Activate Foolish Burial. This lets me send a monster from deck to field, graveyard. We'll send Orcus Nightmare. I'll activate Orcus Nightmare by banishing it from the game. I'll target your monster, and then I can send a monster from my graveyard to deck to the graveyard, and your monster will gain attack equal to its level. We'll dump Harp Horror. It'll gain 400 attack. Banish Harp Horror. In order to special summon my Girsu, Orcus Mech Knight. When Girsu is a special summon, I can send a World Legacy or an Orcus from deck to graveyard. I choose my World Wand. 5 to the bottom. Let me see something. I'm going to activate Gearsu's second ability. I'll give myself 1 World Legacy token, and you get a World Legacy token on your side of the field. I'll link off my token for Galtea I. She'll be in zone upper zone 2. I'll link off Galtea I with Orc or Gearsu to bring out OG Galtea once again. Activate OG Galtea. I'll shuffle back in my Harp Horror to set an Orcus Speller Trap. I'll set my field spell Babble. One, two, three, four, 5 to the bottom. I'll activate Galtea I in the graveyard. By banishing my Gearsu from the game, I'll bring her back to the field in zone 2. Link off. Link 2. Link 1 makes it 3. And we shall summon out my Longirsu to the field in attack mode. If he's in my zone 2, what's your monster's zone he's in?
Zone 3.
Zone 3? Alright, so he has an arrow pointing right at your monster, so I'll activate his effect by shuffling in my Gearsuit and Nightmare back to the deck. Then I can send 1 linked monster on the field from my opponent's field to the graveyard that it points to. So it's pointing to your zone 4 and your zone 3. Yep. So whoever's in your zone 3 will get sent to the graveyard. One, two, three, four, 5 to the bottom. Activate my field spell. I'll then overlay. Oops. We'll overlay Longirsu to bring out my XC summon monster, Dingirsu, to the field. When Dingirsu is special summon, I can non-target or send 1 card from your field to the graveyard. I choose your defense monster. Then we'll go to the battle phase, and I'll have my Dingirsu with 2600 attack you directly. And with that, I'll have to end my turn.
Stand by phase.
Oh yeah, Dark Ruler no more. You take no damage. I'm sorry. No damage for you. Thank you, Razu.
Yes, costly oversight. Grandpa Odd-Eyes Butler in my pendulum zone. I will end my turn with that.
My move, I draw. Thanks to Time Turning Morganite, I draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Let's see. What can we do? I'll banish my Armageddon Knight from the game. In order to bring out my Bestial Druisworm in attack mode. Then we'll go to the battle phase and we'll have my Druisworm with 25 attack you directly. And then Dingirsu will attack you for 2,600.
In response to Dingirsu's attack, Butler's Pendulum effect will now activate. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, I can add an Odd-Eyes Pendulum monster from my graveyard to the extra deck face up. And if I do, the attack is negated, and then I can gain life points equal to that Pendulum monster's attack points.
So you'll just gain 2,600. No. Or your 2,600 back. Yep.
Only one Odd-Eyes Pendulum monster. But because its attack points are determined, I'll simply negate your attack without gaining anything.
Right. Fuck. I just thought of something. Druisworm will stay in my hand because of Time Turning Morganite. I can't summon him.
Another oversight.
Yeah. Your move.
Draw. Well, I will activate Perform Power Odd-Eyes Synchro with a Pendulum skill. Next, I will Pendulum Summon from my extra deck.
Are you sure, Kai? I can still use Druisworm off of Time Tearing? It's a summoning condition? Continue.
I will Pendulum Summon Supreme King Dragon Darkworm and attack you. And now its summon effect activates. So that means I get to add one Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster from my deck and add it to my hand. What I have next will come as a surprise for you. But first things first. I'll activate Supreme King Gate Magician's effect from my hand. By sending a Pendulum, Xyz, Synchro, or Fusion Dragon from my hand or extra deck to the grave, I can special summon it from my hand. And I will choose to send Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon from my extra deck to the graveyard to do so. Here comes the blessing of Supreme King Gate Magician. Special summon. And because Supreme King Gate Magician is special summon, I get to add a card that mentions Supreme King Zark in its card text, except the spellcaster type. And I will choose to add this card. Next, I will activate the card that I just added, the quick play spell Wings of Light. Since I'm still in my main phase, I can add a Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate potential monster from my deck and add it to my hand. And I will add this card. Unless you have something else in store, I will now take the opportunity to normal summon the monster that I added. The tuner monster, Supreme King Dragon Lightworm. And on its summon, I get to add a Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster from my extra deck to my hand. And then afterwards, I can perform an Xyz or Synchro summon using monsters on my field, including this card. And I will choose to add Supreme King Dragon Odd Eyes from my extra deck to my hand. Next, per Lightworm's effect, I'll use it to tune with my level 4 Dark Worm. I will now Synchro Summon into Supreme King Dragon Clearwing. When Supreme King Dragon Clearwing is Synchro Summoned, if it is, I can destroy all face-up monsters my opponent controls.
Ooh. Do you plan on doing that? I'll activate Dingirsu's effect by removing a material from it. I can save it from destruction. Girsu will go to the graveyard.
Excellent. Next, I will proceed to enter into the battle phase. Supreme King Dragon Clearwing will attack into Dingirsu.
What's the attacks? 2,500. My Dingirsu's at 26.
And because Clearwing is battling, its effect will now activate. Before damage calculation once per turn, if this card battles an opponent's monster, I can destroy it. And if I do, my opponent will take damage equal to the destroyed monster's original attack points.
Oh! Dingirsu's destroyed.
And now, Supreme King Gate Magician will attack you directly for 2,500.
Minus 2,500.
And with that, I will proceed to end my turn.
On your end phase, I'll activate Sky Meteor, banishing your Clearwing from the game. Draw 2. What's the attribute of your monster?
Light.
Light. I'll activate Foolish Burial Goods. This lets me send a spell or trap from my deck to the graveyard. I will dump my Orcus Crescendo. I will then banish my Orcus Crescendo in order to add a one Dark Machine monster from my deck on banishment. So from my deck, I will add my Gear Suit. In my graveyard, I will banish my Longirsu in order to bring back my Galtea Eye. I'll activate Galtea Eye by discarding my Bestial Druis Worm. I can add either Orchestrated Babble or a World Legacy monster from deck to hand. I will grab World Legacy, World Crown. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I believe, hold on there, I think I got another effect since I added World Crown to my hand. Nope, that's fine. I will activate my World Crown and my World Wand in the graveyard by banishing it from the game. I can special summon from the banishment zone one. Oh, it's gotta be an Orcus. Yeah, it is an Orcus. Longirsu will come back to the field. I will link for level or link 4, not level. Link 3 and link 1 to the graveyard to bring out my Eling Girsu to the field. I'll activate Eling Girsu's effect. I will grab my banished Crescendo, and then I will put a card in my hand back to the deck. Then I can non-target take control of your monster. Oops.
Assume it is a permanent effect.
Yep. Permanent. Permanent steel. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the bottom. And for that, I will just use this as, you said it's 2,500?
Yeah.
Alright. There. It's difficult with all the link arrows going off on the damn dual disc. I can special summon my World Crown from my hand since I control a link monster it points to. This is going to go in zone 3 because that's where the arrow is pointing to. Alright, battle phase. We'll have my token, 2,500, attacking to your life points. And my Eling Girsu will attack you for 26. And before I do anything else, I forgot to add my action card to my hand, so 1 or 2.
2.
Alright. Main phase 2, I shall set these 2 in the back row and end my turn. Your move. Oh my god, this...
Not my first choice, but it'll have to do for now. First, I'll Pendulum Summon from my extra deck Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm in defense mode. And from my hand, I will Pendulum Summon Perform Power Gentry in defense mode.
What are the attributes of your monsters?
Dark.
Why not? I'll flip up Super Polymerization. By discarding my Ultimate Slayer, I will fuse both your darks to bring out my Starving Venom Fusion Dragon.
My turn.
Draw phase. Draw 2. 1, 2. Battle phase. Starving Venom attacks you directly for 28. And I think this might be game. I'll attack you directly with Elan Girsu for 26. GG's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, or 4.
2. And for you, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
3.
3 it is.
I draw. Standby into main. I will activate Oz Revolution Dragon's effect from my hand. By discarding it, I then pay 500 of my life points to add a level 8 or lower dragon type Pendulum monster from my deck to my hand.
Yep. What's the attribute of your monster in the graveyard?
Light.
Alright.
And I will add Dark Worm. Next, I will normal summon Dark Worm. Dark Worm's effect upon its summon. Response.
Nope.
Then I will add a Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster from my deck and add it to my hand. Magician. Next up, I'll set the Pendulum Scale by activating Supreme King Gate Magician and Supreme King Gate Infinity. Before I do anything else, I will activate the spell card Duelist Alliance. Since I have a Pendulum monster in my Pendulum Zone, I can add a monster, spell, or trap with the word Pendulum in its name from my deck to my hand. And I can only activate Duelist Alliance once per turn. Next,
just texting me.
Alright.
Alright, continue.
Alright. The card that I will choose to add is the Continuous Bell Pendulum Evolution.
Priorities, chat.
That's true. Now, next I'll activate the Continuous Spell Pendulum Evolution. Then I'll activate Supreme King Gate Magician's Pendulum effect. By destroying itself, I can replace it with a different Supreme King Gate Pendulum monster and activate it to be set the pendulum scale from the deck. And of course, the one I will choose will be none other than Supreme King Gate 0. Next, Supreme King Gate 0's Pendulum effect activates. By destroying it and Infinity in the pendulum zones, I can activate I can add a polymerization or a fusion spell card from my deck to my hand. And of course, the one I will choose will be this card.
Instant fusion.
Now, I'll activate the spell Instant Fusion. Paying 1,000 of my life points to special summon a fusion monster that's level 5 or below. Independent Nightingale.
Mr. Ham, appreciate it.
And now, I'll reset the pendulum scale with Perform Power Onyx Dissolver and Perform Power Celestial Magician. Next, I'll link my Dark Worm and Nightingale. This time, yeah, I'll go with Electromite again. And because it's Link Summon, I can add a Pendulum monster from my deck to my extra deck face up. And lo and behold, Astrograph Sorcerer. Next, I Pendulum Summon my level 7 Supreme King Gate Magician and Astrograph Sorcerer for my extra deck. And now Supreme King Gate Magician's special summon effect. I can add a card that mentions Supreme King Zark in its card text other than Spellcaster text. Next, I'll activate the effect of Pendulum Evolution. I can shuffle one Pendulum monster in my hand to the deck in order to add a monster whose attack points are 2,500 from my deck to my hand. And I'll shuffle Perform Power Onyx Buff. I will add Onyx Phantom Dragon. Now, I will set one card face down. Then, I'll use Dissolver's Pendulum effect to fusion summon a Dragon-type fusion monster from my extra deck using monsters from my hand or field.
Puzzle piece.
Yep.
All that. Also, I'll chain my Bestial Jewsworm in my hand. I will banish one of your lights in your graveyard.
The only light in my graveyard.
Yep. And I'll bring out my Jewsworm.
And now, I'll use Onyx Phantom Dragon and Astrograph Sorcerer on my field. So Phantom Dragon will be sent to the grave, while Astrograph Sorcerer is on top of my extra. Now I will fusion summon into Odd-Eyes Vortex Dragon. And now, since this card is special summon, I can target one face-up attack position monster you control and return it to your hand.
Ooh. Got you.
Next, I'll activate Electromagne's effect to destroy the former pile Odd-Eyes Dissolver to add Astrograph Sorcerer back to my hand. And now Electromagne's additional effect for Chainlink 1 and Astrograph Sorcerers for Chainlink 2. Because a card on my field was destroyed, Astrograph Sorcerer is special summoned. And because I destroyed a monster in my Pendulum Zone with Electromagne's effect, I get to draw one card. This should be fun. I will proceed to end my turn.
My move. Draw for turn. So remind me of your effects of your monsters on your field.
Only one of them is with Omni Negate, but these two are irrelevant since they were already summoned. And Electromagne's effects are only once per turn as far as like targeting a pendulum monster on my field and destroying it.
Which one's the Omni Negate?
Here's a hint. One of them isn't an attack.
So the Omni Negate's your defensive monster? Yes?
Continue with your turn.
We'll tribute off your Omni Negate and give you Gamma Seal.
As if that would surprise me.
I will banish any dark monster in your graveyard to bring out my Jewsworm.
What a shame for you. I'll banish Odd-Eyes Phantom.
Next, I'll normal summon my Gearsu, the Orcus Mech Knight, in attack mode. His effect will let me dump a Orcus from deck to graveyard. Oh, I'm just dropping shit. We'll dump the... is it just an Orcus or a machine? Hold on a second. Or a World Legacy. We'll dump my Harp Horror if I can find it. Harp Horror will go to the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the bottom. I'll synchro summon level 4 Gear Suit with my level 6 Druid Worm in order to summon out my Chaos Angel to the field in attack mode. Chain Link 1 Chaos Angel, Chain Link 2 will be Druid Worm. Druid Worm will. I will send a special summon monster on your side of the field to the graveyard, so I choose your... I'll choose your Link monster. And then Chaos Angel Chain Link 1 will banish... I'll banish 1 card on your field. What else is on your field? What's the attacks of your monsters?
2,200, and the other 2 are 2,500.
We'll banish 1 of your 2,500 monsters.
Light or dark?
The light. I'll activate Foolish Burial Goods. This will let me send a spell or trap from deck to graveyard. I will dump my Orcus Crescendo if I can find it. There it is. Then I'll activate Crescendo by banishing it from the game. I can add to my hand we'll go Symbol Skeleton to my hand. There's my hand. I'll banish Harp Horror from the graveyard in order to special summon my Orcus Nightmare to the field in defense mode. Damn, I can't shuffle. Let's see. How do I want to do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna link off my Orcus Nightmare by sending it to the grave to bring out my Galtea Eye.
Eye summon?
Say again?
Anything on eye summon?
I'm gonna activate Galtea Eye's effect. It's not an on-summon effect, is that, if that's what you're asking?
Let's see.
I'll use your effect to dump my skeleton to add either a World Legacy monster or Orchestrated Babble to my hand.
Very well.
So I will grab my field spell, Orchestrated Babble. Oh my goodness. think I'm going back in this thing. So, I'm going to activate Orchestrated Babel.
I reveal my trap card, Soul of the Supreme Celestial King.
Ooh, what does that do?
First, I get to tribute a spellcaster type monster on my field whose original attack points are 2,500. Then I can banish specific cards from my field, hand, deck, and or extra deck. So now I will banish Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon from my from my main deck. And then, to continue, I will also banish monsters from my extra deck. Specifically, Starving Venom Predator Power Fusion Dragon, Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, and Odd Eyes Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Then next, I get to Fusion Summon Supreme King Zark. And because the threat monsters banished from my tap card effect have Pendulum, Xyz, Synchro, and Fusion Dragon in their names, Supreme King Zark's threat will not be negated. Thus, upon its special summon, all cards that my opponent currently controls are destroyed.
That will destroy Chaos Angel and my Galtea Eye.
Oh, that goes for monsters, spells, and trap cards.
Oh, and the field spell will be destroyed as well. Interesting. I should have chained Galtea's effect. It's okay. It's okay. I will I'm gonna banish Orcus Nightmare. Target Gamma Seal to dump We'll dump my World Wand Legacy, World Legacy World Wand, and Gamma Seal will gain 800 attack. I'll activate Galtea Eye in the graveyard. One, two, three, four, five to the bottom. I will banish my Gear Suit in order to bring out Galtea back to the field. Here's my hand. Activate World Wand by banishing it from the game. I will bring back from the banishment zone my Harpor to the field in defense mode. I'm gonna link off I'll link off 2. Galtea and Harpor in order to bring out my Galtea OG. Activate OG's effect. I will shuffle back in my. We'll shuffle back in the Orcus Gear Suit in order to set a Speller Trap. Oh, why am I shuffling? Orchestrated Einsatz will be set. One, two, three, four, 5 to the bottom. Can your big monster be targeted or whatever? Can it be targeted? Yes, no.
You really didn't hear me?
No, I didn't.
Not targeted.
Cannot be targeted?
That's right.
Is Dengirsu non-target? Send. Let me double check. Ooh. His effect is non-targeting. Sweet. I'll overlay Galtea to XC summon my Dengirsu. When he's special summon, I can non-target send 1 card on your side of the field to the graveyard. I choose your big guy.
In response, I'll play my action spell, Invisibility. In addition
Nice.
to Zard being non-targetable by my card effects, it is also unaffected by other card effects this turn.
That's fine. We'll just have to go to the battle phase and I'll have my Dengirsu at 26 attacking to Gamma Seal.
For 3,000.
Oh, Gamma Seal's at 3,000? Fuck.
Yeah, because you gave him attack points.
Oh yeah, that's right. I already called the attack. I'll use Dengirsu's effect. I'll send Galtea to the graveyard to save him from destruction. But I will take the damage. So I
Luckily,
lose
it's only
400.
400 points of damage.
Main phase 2, I will flip up my Orchestrated Einsatz. It's a continuous spell. Then I shall set 1 and 2 in the back row and end my turn. So every time you normal or special summon, I can send a Orcus from my deck to the graveyard or banishment zone once per turn.
Draw. Standby phase. 1, 2, or 3.
2.
Good choice. I'll show you why soon enough. But first, I will normal summon Performapal Skullcrabat Joker. Its normal summon effect for Chainlink 1 and your continuous spell for Chainlink 2.
Yep, I will go ahead and use it. I will dump I will dump another symbol skeleton to the graveyard.
Alright. And now, in accordance with Joker's opinion, I get to add a Performer Pal, an Odd Eyes, or a Magician's Pendulum, any one of those three specific monsters to my deck in my hand.
Alright.
Now let's see. Why not? I will add a Performer Pal Odd Eyes Seed.
On resolution, I will flip up my face down card. Non-fusion area. Continuous trap. So now, neither of us can fusion summon while this is face up on the field.
It's fine with me. Now I'll activate Performer Pal Odd Eyes Seed. Next, I will proceed to enter into the battle phase. Supreme King's Arc will attack into your Dingirsu for 4,000.
I don't think so. Action magic card. Battle lock. My opponent cannot declare attack this turn.
As expected. Now, main phase 2. I'll use Joker and your Gamma Seal to link them. Beyond the Pendulum. Now Beyond's effect for Chain Link 1 and your continuous spell for Chain Link 2.
My continuous spell is once per turn, but I do have a response to your summon. I'll flip up my Solemn Strike, paying 1,500.
That's good. You actually saved me some trouble. Believe it or not. Next, I will Pendulum Summon Performer Pal Odd Eyes Synchron from my hand. And I will choose to Pendulum Summon from my extra deck Supreme King Gate 0. In defense. And now I'll activate Odd Eye Synchron's effect. Once per turn, I'll use it along with one of my other Pendulum monsters in my Pendulum zones to perform a single summon. And my target shall be Performer Pal Odd Eye Seer, special summoning in defense position, then immediately perform a single summon using that monster along with Performer Pal Odd Eye Synchron. Now I will Synchro Summon into my level 8 Supreme King Dragon Clearway. And on its Synchro Summon effect, all face-up monsters you currently control will now be destroyed. Response?
Nope.
Now all face-up monster cards that you control will be destroyed by after the Synchro Summon effect of Supreme King Dragon Clearly.
Ooh, got you.
Next, I'll use Zero's monster effect. I can special... Let's see. Aw. Well, no matter. Your non-fusion area is still in effect, so I cannot. But that's fine with me. I will proceed to end my turn.
Alright, my move. Draw for turn. And on the standby phase, I will add a action magic card. 1, 2, or 3.
2.
2 it is. Is that Clear Wing's only effect?
In case you forgot, it has another effect that can be triggered during the battle phase, whether it's attacking an opponent's monster or if it gets attacked.
Got you. First of all, activate the Babble in my graveyard by discarding my Gear Suit. I can add it back to my hand. Then I will activate my field spell. I will banish Heart Horror from the graveyard in order to special summon from my deck. One Orchestra. Gearsey will be special summoned. His ability will activate, letting me dump either Orcus or World Legacy. Who's left? Brass Bombard will go to the graveyard. And you said your boss monster cannot be targeted? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good thing my Orcus do not target. I'll activate Galtea Eye in the graveyard by banishing my Brass Bombard from the game. I will bring her back to the field. Activate my Symbol Skeleton in the graveyard by banishing it from the game. I can special summon my Galtea OG to the field. Next, I will link for 4 OG Galtea. Gearsey will go to the graveyard in order to bring out my Eling Gearsey to the field. And you said Clearwing does what now on the battle phase?
Trigger during the battle phase, regardless. If it's battling a monster.
Does it gain attack and all that?
No, it doesn't. But if you're really in need of a reminder, feel free to attack it first if you dare. But
I think not. I'll activate. Nah. I'm gonna activate Eling Gearsey's effect. I will grab my Heart Horror from the banishment zone. Then place 1 card back to the deck, and I will non-target take control of your fusion monster. So I've got starving here. Then I am gonna overlay my Alien Gear Suit for my second Dim Gear Suit. And when Dim Gear Suit is special summon, I can send one card on your side of the field to the graveyard. I choose your Synchro monster. Let's go to the battle phase. I'll have my Din Gear Suit with 26 attack you directly. Iron Lance.
You forget.
Oh.
I have a monster in defense mode.
I'll attack your defense position monster for 2600.
And now, because Supreme King Gate 0 has been destroyed by monster, by battle or a card effect, it can be activated in my Pendulum Zone.
Alright. And then I'll attack you with your Synchro monster for 3k?
It's Fusion monster. And it's 4,000.
Oh, your Fusion. 4,000. My bad. Yep. I'm sorry. Alright, I'll have to end my turn.
I draw. In that case, I'll Pendulum Summon from my extra deck Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm and perform a Pal Monkey Board in defense for my deck.
On its special summon, I'll activate my Orchestrated Einsatz, and I will dump to the graveyard my... I'll send Harp Horror to the graveyard. To the bottom.
I will simply end my turn for now.
I draw. Draw. I'll activate Galtea Eye in the graveyard. I will banish my Gear Suit from the game to bring it back to the field. I will banish Symbol Skeleton in order to bring back OG Galtea. Whoops. Link for 3. Galtea. To bring out my Alien Gear Suit. I'll activate Alien Gear Suit's effect. I shall... Well, he's in zone... He's in that... Above the 2. I'll shuffle back in my Heart Horror and my Symbol Skeleton. And then if there's anything in your zone 3, I will send it to the graveyard. One, two, three, four, five to the bottom. Do you have any dark monsters in your
Yes. Forgot one of them was sent back to the edge today. But no matter. I have two of them.
what's their attacks?
2,500 and one is 1,200.
Alright, we'll just go to the battle phase. And my Dim Girsu will what's the defense of your monster?
1,200.
Dim Girsu will attack into your monster with Iron Lance. And then my Fusion Dragon for 4,000 will attempt to attack you directly. And with that, I'll have to end my turn. Your move.
Already over. Or have you forgotten?
Was that game?
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh. That's Supreme King. That is tough, man.
So are your Orcus. You can have the victory for now. However, I have other things to take care of before I decide to get revenge on you later.
I'll be waiting.
You can wait all you like, but when the time comes, I will be coming for you. Whether you want to or not.
It's perfectly fine. I look forward to it.
Farewell for now.